Let us study the Young's double slit experiment in short. First of all, this experiment is the first experiment which proves the interference of light. Number two, using this experiment, one can calculate the wavelength of light used. Number three, path difference is always equal to xn is equal to n lambda d upon d, that is for constructive interference. Path difference is equal to L lambda, B is equal to L lambda d upon d. This shows that, let's write this term. Path difference is equal to xn d upon d, where xn is the distance of nth band from the central bright band. Small d is the distance between two sources, coherent sources, and capital D is the distance between source and screen. For constructive interference, this path difference is equal to L lambda. Equating these two path differences, we get xn is equal to n lambda d upon d. This is the condition for path difference, that is n lambda d upon d. For destructive interference, that path difference is equal to, we know that twice n minus 1 into lambda by 2, but here the same path difference is equal to xn d upon d. Therefore, for destructive interference, xn is equal to twice n minus 1 into lambda by 2 is equal to d by d. This is the condition for destructive interference, where lambda is the wavelength of source of light, n is the band number of fringe number. Fourth formula is, what is the effect of medium on interference pattern of refractive index mu? What is the effect of medium of refractive index mu? Before it, first take the bandwidth or bandwidth. The symbol is capital X. The bandwidth is the distance between two successive bright or dark bands, that is denoted by capital X. This bandwidth is given by this bandwidth. First we define linear bandwidth. Linear bandwidth is given by x is equal to lambda d divided by small d, and for angular bandwidth, formula is lambda by d or x by d, where small d is the distance between two slits, capital X is the bandwidth, capital D is the distance between source and screen, lambda is the wavelength of unknown source. Now we come towards this point, effect of medium on refractive index. if effect of idea of refractive index on bandwidth. Suppose that in a given medium of refractive index mu, bandwidth is x dash. That x dash is equal to lambda d from this formula, lambda dash into d divided by small d. But we know that refractive index is equal to lambda in air divided by lambda in medium, that is lambda dash. Therefore, lambda dash is equal to lambda divided by mu. Put this in formula for x dash, that is x dash is equal to lambda divided by mu into d by d. But by definition of x, we know that lambda d divided by d is equal to x. Therefore, formula becomes x dash is equal to x upon mu. That is, for any medium other than air, fringe width decreases. Let us take the next point, that is effect of introduction of thin glass plate in one of the interfering path of the experiment. This shows that when a thin transparent plate of thickness t and refractive index mu is placed in one of the path of interfering waves, then always remember that number one, fringe width remains unaffected and the fringe pattern shift towards the side of thin glass plate. In this case, the fringe shift. In this case, the fringe shift, that is delta x, is given by mu minus 1 into t, mu minus 1 into t into d by d, where mu is the refractive index of that glass plate, t is the thickness of that glass plate, small d, we know that it is the distance between two slits, two coherent sources, and capital D is the distance between source and screen. From the formula for fringe width, we can also define the fringe shift as delta x, fringe shift delta x as mu 1 minus 1 into t into x by lambda, where x is the bandwidth or fringe width, mu is the refractive index of that glass plate. Now, let us calculate the number of fringes shifted. Number of fringes shifted is given by the delta x over x. These are the number of fringes shifted, which is equal to, from this formula, we can calculate the mu 1 minus 1 into t divided by lambda. This is the formula for number of fringes shifted. And last formula, that is number 8. Formula number 8 for this experiment is, that is the general formula, that is intensity is directly proportional to width of this plate, and which is directly proportional to square of amplitude. Therefore, we can set the formula as I1 upon I2 is equal to W1 upon W2 is equal to A1 divided because intensity is directly proportional to square of amplitude. These are the important formulae for Young's double slit accelerator. Now, last point for the interference is the biprism experiment. Let us describe in short the biprism experiment. What is biprism? Biprism is the arrangement of two identical prisms. Biprism is the arrangement of two identical right angled prisms combined base to base so that its refracting angle, that is this angle, is about 179 degree and remaining each is about 0.5 degree. This is the biprism. It is made from the two identical right angled prisms connected base to base, combined base to base, so that they have a large refracting angle, that is about 179 degree, and remaining each is about 0.5 degree. This biprism is used to obtain two coherent sources. In interference pattern, we have a first condition that to obtain the sustained interference, that two sources of light must be coherent sources. That two coherent sources are obtained from the biprism experiment. Last, in biprism experiment, lambda is equal to, we know that bandwidth we have calculated as lambda d upon d, that is x is equal to lambda d upon d. From that formula, we can calculate lambda as xd upon d. But in biprism experiment, that small d, that is distance between two sources, is defined as the square root of product of d1 and d2, where d1 and d2 are the sizes of the images in magnified and diminished form. Important condition for the calculation of d1 and d2, that is size, image of size, magnified image and diminished image, is that capital D must be always greater than 4f, where capital D is the distance between source and screen, f is the focal length of convex lens which is used in the biprism experiment. This condition must be satisfied to obtain the magnified and diminished images. Therefore, capital D is always greater than 4f, and these two images are obtained by using the property of conjugate foci, and that in that property we have used the formula image size upon object size is always equal to image distance upon object distance. These are the important concepts about the interference of light. In next video, study about the